Hello and welcome back to my playthrough of GTNH. It is September 12th. It's been a couple days. Um, Main reason I haven't done a video the last 2 days was really didn't play too much. I did do like really small things each day, or maybe not small, but not like a lot to really go into. So the first thing I did do on Wednesday was upgrade the pack to the Beta 4. The reason I did that was, one, I thought my build craft filler wasn't working again, but kind of funny story, it was. And, but, so my game seemed to be kind of like weirdly degrading with its textures. Not really sure what was happening, but my Thaumcraft textures in particular, like say my wand for example, the texture just randomly disappeared, and all that was there was the little gold dots here at the end. All the crystal clusters, they all disappeared. The mixed crystals, random stuff in the world. And that's actually what happened with the buildcraft filler. So once you put out your landmarks, and then drop your filler, it creates little construction lines, and then you just supply power. It does its thing. Uh, the construction lines just had disappeared from it, like texture-wise as well. So I was actually able to like start and perform that. So I did clear out the area down there, and kind of spoiler, you can see I've got some big old multis down there. But so that was the main reason I upgraded to 2.8. I did figure out how to use the matter manipulator. It is pretty nifty, and actually was great while setting up these multis, because this guy in particular, I counted out the wrong number of blocks and had it too big, for example. But so basically, there's two things I had that I wasn't getting right on Tuesday when I was trying to figure out how this guy works. The first one is, if we hover over it, you can see, if you look near the bottom, it says installed upgrades. We got the excavation upgrade. So I did not have that. I did not realize there were like upgrades that you had to craft to these guys. It is pretty straightforward to do it. If we just do at matter manipulator here, you can see there's these four. Basically, you just craft one of these guys and then put the matter manipulator with the upgrade in it, and then that's like how you install it. So you cannot exchange blocks without the excavation upgrade, at least for this prototype. And that's kind of cool because it tells you which one of these work at what tier. And so, like, we won't ever need to craft this matter manipulator, or this excavation one again from the looks of it. Who knows what'll change in the non-beta, but like each tier I'll want to like make this accelerator one, or the this power one, for example. The second part of it, because once I put that in, it still wasn't quite working for me, but that's just more user error. So once you have your settings set up, which here, let me clear that out. You just get to that by right clicking in the air. But so once you set it to air, and here, I'll just go through the whole thing. So you go select blocks, set all, and then we can just click all air added all blocks. Usually you'll see show up. So then to actually clear, you can click like this and get it that way, or the way I prefer to do it is you can Control Z to clear it out. But you do shift click, and that'll go exactly where you're pointing at. Then we can go over like this, shift click again, and now we have this space. And then all you do is shift click in the air, and you have to keep holding it down. And once you hold it down, it'll actually clear it out. If you just click it in the air, it doesn't do anything. But this tool is great. Like I said, I actually, when I built this guy up, did an extra layer down, and knocking all these out, for example, with the wrench, because it's like it's a 15 by 15, so 145 blocks with the wrench would have taken a few minutes, especially because I didn't have this guy built below it. So if I was hovering, it would be even worse. But instead, I mean, it took a few seconds to clear it out. But so yeah, once I got that figured out, I did move right into constructing these two multis, the Mega EBF and the Mega Vacuum Cleaner, or Vacuum Freezer, not Vacuum Cleaner. But these guys, you can see down here, I've got 5 energy hatches. I ended up adding these later because I was trying to figure out why this guy was only running 18 parallel instead of the 256 it said. But you need to add more. My power isn't quite strong enough to be able to power both the vacuum freezer and 6 of these hatches, which would get me to the 256. So I have it like this. I am just powering these through a P2P tunnel from the nuclear reactors over there. So I could just set up a second one, and I might, just to get that last little bit of parallel or parallelization. But that's just, this was more proof of concept, get it to work. I did end up going with, because they're doing so many items, I figured it would be smarter to have actual output buses, the ME output buses, so just to get it in the network faster. And then in both cases I've got, so in this one is the patterns in, and then for example this guy is just one with a OR dictionary filter card that's filtered to have all the hot ingots come to this thing. I did that because since I am outputting these directly into the network, it is just going to put in obviously hot ingots from the EBF craft, but this guy with all the acceleration cards just instantly dumps them in here, so it keeps up pretty well. And then I moved all my patterns over here that aren't on the level maintainers. The immediate problem though, I noticed, and you'll see these random dirt spots, the spot of sand, is this thing creates so much pollution. It's actually like healed itself now. But if I ever start running a craft, it will, like, all the sand and stuff down here, like, it's crazy. This thing turns into a wasteland during any sort of craft. So that, because of that, I was trying to figure out good ways, or like a way to upgrade the muffler, which you can do these fancier mufflers, the these advanced muffler hatches. And I did craft one, and I was trying to put a filter in the input bus and to like have it put it in, because it says you can take air filters from an input bus of the multi-block, reduces pollution to 26%, and that didn't seem to work for me. So I'm going to mess around with it more over the weekend, because I'm sure it's user error, but figure out how that works, because that would be a huge upgrade even over this guy, because right now it just has an IV muffler hatchet, which reduces it by half, but I mean using this advanced one drops it all the way to 26%, and then I just have the mufflers on, or the air filters on autocraft. Why is my wireless not popping up? Oh, you know what? It's because I don't play on this computer, so I have not set my bubbles. Let's go wireless, wireless crafting terminal, make that R. So what I did notice after the last video too is you can throw the crafting terminal on one of your bobble spots, which is pretty. I've very quickly gotten used to this wireless crafting, and it's kind of spoiling me. But you go, just hit, whatever button you assign it to, and it opens up the ME network. So throughout the last couple days, a little bit I played the last two, and then today, if there's any area where I am working for more than a few minutes, I end up just throwing down a wireless point. At some point I'll go through and do like a more systematic approach to make sure everywhere's covered, but for the moment it's working. Like this guy just got up, just chilling here. It is nice because these can connect to the dense cable, so that's convenient. But yeah, so after I got these guys set up, like I said, I ended up crafting this multi-block, which is the electric air filter. I did immediately go for the tier 3 version, just because I cannot emphasize how much pollution that thing was pulling out. I actually had it, the highest I saw after a few minutes was like 17 million gibble, or whatever the unit is. Probably still some in here. Oh no, it's free. If we hop over here, we can see what these guys are doing. Yeah, this one's not nearly a million, and that's with 8 EBFs running. This guy, it's nuts, and I don't want to have to keep fixing the grass. But that thing down there can't quite keep up with it. I feel like the only way it'll actually keep up with it is if I do change it to one chunk mode and then literally just have one in every single chunk. We'll see. We'll see how much it ends up annoying me. I might do that at least around this guy, like the 9 chunks that it seems to affect. Have one in each because it's not too much material. But that's a future thing. So I made that multi-block, nothing too special to it, just connected to the network. It is kind of unique in the fact that it takes a bunch of muffler hatches on the side, and and they do specifically need to be in these slots. And then I have it does say it needs 8,000 EU per tick, so I've got it overclocked to IV at the moment. Next up, though, after I got this stuff figured out this morning, I took some time to basically set up all the multi-blocks that I've crafted over the last week or so, and then just kind of been lazy or keep getting distracted from actually setting up. So that included this cutting machine, this compressor that was the last thing I had set up. I set up a macerator because we do actually have quite a few of those recipes going on. This autoclave, and then the new one that I got the patterns and everything set up for today and then ended up crafting was this forge hammer. So I did also, if you look at forge hammer in the book, you can see that it's got 4 different tiers. I did go right for the void metal tier 4 since crafting a void metal anvil is pretty straightforward. It is an infusion recipe, but we have the infusion already automated by AE, so that was basically as simple as creating a pattern and hitting craft. All the other, we have tons of void metal from both the bees and the crops, so it was good there. This guy is kind of cool. You have a bunch of different, I tried to match the tier of the coils in there, which these are electrum coils with the glass. I believe that gets it to IV. I do only have all of these running at EV, but if we start getting recipes that require IV, I'll just overclock them. Getting this cutting machine up was nice because this guy acts as a clean room, so I was able to clear up a couple slots in the actual clean room. And these are some of our slower recipes mixed with the autoclave. That's going to speed up some autocrafts quite a bit. This forge hammer is actually going to go particularly hard for cleaning up some of those slower recipes, because my forge hammer I was using before kind of forgot I was still just using an LV one. I don't know quite why I got so lazy about upgrading that one in particular, probably because of the anvils. So I don't think I had anvils set up for a long time in the system. But yeah, I've been using a LV forge hammer in just one of them all the way up to this point. I was going to, since I got the Mega set up a fluid solidifier, but I wasn't quite able to get that crafted. If we type in here, I do have a lot of the components going, like 245 of those guys. Oops, exit it out. This, I guess I never started that craft. I believe I need 73 of those. Here we got these. I wonder why I never started this. I could have swore I did. Whatever. Start it now. Boom. Got the main shape done. So at some point I'll drop that down. The fluid solidifier multi-block is huge though. We look at it over here. This is how it starts off, but as you tier up, like, this thing gets crazy. So I think I'm crafting the number of blocks to at least get the physical shape of it to its max. Then I'll worry about upgrading the other stuff later, but that'll be a nice one to get done. Like I said, I didn't want to do it before I set up the Megas because I kept getting so distracted with stuff, so I set up these 8, but we'll get that guy set. I did over here in bees, I didn't make any bees, but I did shut down a lot of the processes just to focus on uranium, because my uranium wasn't keeping up. Now let's see. The only kind of like passive stuff I did today I did fix my... This is the wrong floor. My silicone solar grade setup. So before I had this level maintainer going off the number of ingots in the system, but I did add the ingots specifically to the level maintainers down by the controller and made this one the dust, because there are recipes that require the dust form, and I didn't want to set up like a mace rated recipe. It felt silly. So this will keep 5,000 of these, and I believe I set the maintainer to 4,000 ingots. And we have plenty of raw, so it'll be good. And then just to make sure this process kept up a little faster if we start going like some more high demand recipes, what have you, I did set up this multi-block just for the parallelization alone, to be able to get more chlorine going, because the chlorine, salt, sodium is just a closed loop in here. I don't add any extra into this. The only thing that is inputted into these multi-blocks is the raw silicone, and then the solar grade gets exported out. Otherwise, the rest of it's a closed loop. And then, aside from that, I just set up a few extra level maintains. I threw in graphene, because basically that was one that was had a... Whenever I did some like crafts in IV, I felt like I was constantly waiting on it. And then the very last thing I didn't get far. So my goal for the week was to set up the Moissanite line. I did not make that goal. I did, however, start it near the end of today when I stopped playing. The first thing I set up with was this LCR. So, oh geez, I haven't played on this client here in a minute, so sorry for the flashbang. Standard dark quests. So yeah, we're down on the Moissanite line. So the first part is to get this muddy stuff, which we need this digester. I had crafted this about a week ago, just never set it up, and that is this multi-block over here. It is kind of a weird looking one and kind of big, but the first one I actually set up for the line though was this guy for the nitric acid. Just from reading the quest book for this part, it says it's a very nitric acid hungry process, so set up an LCR. I just went with a Circuit 21 recipe because it's the most straightforward. Circuit 21 just lets us use hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen by itself to make nitric acid and some water. For the moment, just to get the process started and start building some nitric acid, I just am avoiding the water. But I think my general plan of attack is I'm going to have a bunch of sets of wires, and then like one of the 9x9 pipes. Basically, I want like an output ender conduit all the way around, and an output pipe all the way around that'll collect all the excess stuff that I just want to get out of this little sub-network. And then I do think I'm going to set up a sub-network to handle everything that's doesn't need to go out into the main network. Like this muddy water, from looking at the recipes, looks like the only thing it's used for is this line, so it can stay in here and I can keep it off the main network and not have to worry about it. So for the weekend itself, I do plan on setting up that solidifier. I kind of have a silly goal of I want to get those color bees finally, because especially as I start doing this, I want to have more colorful wires and whatnot and give it a little more personality instead of just the glass wires everywhere. It'll also make it easier to wire some of this stuff closer together, because I haven't looked ahead to see how many machines I'll need to ultimately put around here, but I would like to fit it all on this one floor, kind of wrap it around. Other than that though, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Just basically a whole lot of multi-blocks today, and pollution. Maybe I should have ran a recipe to show how bad this is, but over here with the pollution, it's crazy. But anyways, I am going to head here to bed, so I hope everybody has a good night and a good weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday. Goodbye. One real quick small note to kind of throw here at the end. Forgot to mention it when I was talking about upgrading. If you do upgrade to the beta 4 and want to use this prototype matter manipulator, or I think any of them, you do need to upgrade the mod, the specific mod. So the version that comes with beta 4 is 0.0.47. If you go onto the Discord, there's 0.0.49. Basically, using this with the version that's in beta 4 by default will just crash your server. Supposedly I read that it works fine in single player. Haven't tested that, but this thing definitely did. It was crashing every time I clicked with it. It would just crash the server. But as soon as I upgraded, fixed it. It's very simple if you don't know how to do that. I'd be surprised if you're setting up a server, but basically you just go into the mods folder, delete the existing version of Matter Manipulator, and then paste in the 0.0.49, and everything should work and be fine. So, yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend. Goodbye.